you're looking at Glenmark?
Well, yes, it reported what was a weak set of numbers, but the stock rallied post the commentary from the management on Friday especially. So we did speak to the company today. So there are a couple of key takeaways which I just wanted to point out. So first, on India and the quarter gone by, remember that India was impacted because of a change in the distribution model. They did say that the adjusted growth was 9% for the company this quarter, and they will be EBITDA positive in Q4 of FY24. They recorded an EBITDA loss this quarter. India does around 1,100 crores of turnover in a good quarter. They will revert back to those levels as well. So basically, this was a one-off that we saw for India. US has not seen any significant launches recently, so that's the reason why there were sluggish sales in the US and has been impacted by pricing pressure. They expect expenses, however, overall to reduce by $25 to $30 million, and they are hopeful of a US FDA inspection to take place in Q4 or Q1 for the Monroe facility, which has a warning letter. They did really talk about the Badi facility, which has an import alert, and the Goa facility, which also has a warning letter. I think the street will be watching out for remediation patterns and timelines on both of those facilities as well. Now, Ryaltris, which is an inhaler drug which they've launched in multiple countries, they indicated has been doing well. It's launched across geographies. They're looking at $75 to $80 million of sales from Ryaltris, and it is doing well in Europe. Lastly, on M&A, because, at one point in time, obviously all the companies know what kind of portfolios other MNCs have or pharma companies have, and they have launched the generic version of a cardiac drug that Novartis at one point had in the Indian market and went, it went generic. So they are well aware of the portfolio, but they are not looking at any kind of M&A which is to do with Novartis at this point in time. So that's not an area of interest for them.
All right, take that point, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. So that's the Insight Edge on Glenmark. Earlier today, we spoke with the ED and Global CFO, V.S. Mani, where he said that the company's overall growth for next year will actually be around 10 to 12%. Listen.
India business, normally in a good quarter, we have anywhere close to 1,100 crores as turnover. So I think going forward, that is the trajectory we'll see it at. And even if you take our secondary sales or historically, we've always grown at close to 10 to 12%. So that growth will always be there. And coming to the overall company growth for the next year, I think we are again looking at about a growth of almost 10 to 12% on an overall basis, because some of our geographies like Europe, emerging markets, they've all done very well. And this quarter, of course, we have launched a couple of injectables, which we are hopeful that they will give meaningful sales in the coming quarters. So we are hoping to touch close to 100 million going forward in the US. As far as the margins are concerned, obviously in the coming year, we see improvements because of one, obviously, as we had explained during our call as well, on the innovation side, because of all the changes that we have made and the alliance that we have, we are expecting a sort of reduction in our expenses by about $25 to $30 million, as well as Ryaltris is doing well, and also, my expansion in geographies of Europe and Latin.
Okay, well, that's Glenmark, and pharmaceuticals is definitely the flavor of the week as well as for today.